Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor, and welcome back to another episode of Fishing with Crendor, the fifth one to be exact, and today I'm joined by Ross.
Hey guys, what's going on? Oh god, a
Oh,
Hydra.
Hydra just spawned. Alright.
No Hydra. Okay, let me get rid of
Yeah, just get rid of him.
Wait, I forgot. I'm not in my hotbar. My fishing hotbar. Shit.
Alright, not the most relaxing start.
Oh, okay, back to the fishing.
Alright.
Yeah.
This is Ross from YouTube, Game Grumps, all those things.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Wave for you. Hello.
Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna be fishing today.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I don't think they knew you were into WoW, but now they do because of your Guild Grumps thing you got going on.
Yeah, man. Guild Grumps we just ran was 5 episodes of me forcing the other Grumps to play World of Warcraft, even though they've never played an MMO. And the outcome, it was basically exactly what I wanted. I just wanted to see how hectically wrong it could go, and I got pretty much exactly that. So I think I'm pretty happy with the outcome, to be honest. Yeah. So no complaints here, really.
I really love the how it's kind of like mocking reality shows.
Yeah, well, we've all had an experience with reality TV. Like Aaron was on The Tester, Dance Showdown, which he didn't seem to hate Dance Showdown. Of course, recently I was talking to Gerard about it, and he went through a thing with King of the Nerds, which didn't go through.
I heard about that.
And then while I've not been on a reality show myself, my wife Holly has, and she was on Heroes of Cosplay, which was essentially it's a show about cosplay, but it was very like fake, and they forced me to be on it. And I totally Daniel Radcliffe that shit by just wearing the same clothes every day. So me wearing the same clothes every day on Guild Grumps was kind of a sarcastic nod to that. A lot of people. I did clean the clothes every day though. I'm all about cleanliness, man. Like I watched that shit, like every day I got home.
Why did they want you to be on the show, even though?
I'll be on here as a cosplay. Well, it was because what happened was they had this weird thing where I didn't know it until like the day of the shoot, where the contract that Holly had signed said that if you have a significant other, like a husband, they're required to be a part of the show, like unnegotiable. And I was like, what? Are you serious? I don't know. So I was kind of like grouchy about it. I was like, I don't want to be on this, but it's like you have to be on this. I want to be on it. I was like, all right, I'll do it because I love you. And oh my god, I hated it. I hated every minute of it. So yeah, if you haven't heard the story, I wore the same gray hoodie every time we did film shoots, and we got a note back from Sci-Fi saying, "Do we have any more footage of Ross?" So yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, I should probably be fishing with you. Hold on, let me get out the.
Oh yeah. It's always fun when you control the reality people.
I don't mess around. See this fishing pole?
Oh wait, hold on. Let me. Oh, you got the Callowak, is it?
It's the one that you had to earn in
Wrath.
Wrath, yeah. Wrath was my biggest time playing WoW. I think it was because for me, like Frozen Throne, Warcraft 3, and all that, big part of my childhood, and being able to get the closure on the Arthas story was like a big thing for me. So I was like, I'm not really big on raiding. I was more into PvP, but that was the one time I got like seriously into raiding. I was on Sargeras. I was part of the Reddit guild because I didn't have any friends playing at the time, and I just needed people to play with. Yeah. And I think my character name was Scruffy there, and that was cool. That was a fun time. But I guess so should I just talk about WoW in general? Because I guess I have a pretty long history with this game.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I actually really enjoyed Wrath too. Wrath was probably the most fun I had in the game.
Yeah. Wrath was solid as hell. I loved it.
I know. And why don't you start by talking about how you got into the game? Like, you could even go back to just Warcraft RTS games.
Yeah, sure. I remember Warcraft. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I played either. I think I might have missed one and went back to it later. But I played 2 at. In school, believe it or not, people were bringing it on hard drives and then playing it in the computer labs. Oh. So like I managed to like sneak in, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but I tried to play with some people. I was terrible at it, but I never really got around to playing through the story. I just played, I think a little bit of multiplayer or something. I can't really recall, but I remember doing it. And then Warcraft 3 came out, and I got a copy of it from, I think, for birthday or something. I can't remember, but I just got into it, and I didn't play a lot of multiplayer with it. I was just really into the story. I was like, wow, this is so interesting and so deep. And I was just super excited to be playing this like really cool RPG that was kind of because up till then the only RTS I'd played was Red Alert, I think.
Yeah.
So it was definitely an interesting thing to be playing this weird like fantasy game. But then at the time I think so probably around this is before I was in high school, so this would have been like 1999 or at least 2000.
Yeah.
I was playing another MMO. I wasn't playing WoW. It was because WoW wasn't out yet, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing a game called Estonia V2, which looked like shit, really. If you want to put up a picture of it, I will give you a picture after this this little chat. So
All right.
Screen. It was essentially a clone of Diablo / Baldur's Gate, and it was this thing created by a German game developer. I think his name is Daniel Brockus, and he made this indie MMO called Estonia. He had made 2 of them, so they referred to the second one as V2, and he had a third one which came out later, which nobody really, well, people play, but I was never interested in it because I think it was pay to play, and this one was free. I was a little kid, so played this game a ton, and that game wasn't really quest centric. It did have quests, but for the most part, it was really grindy, like you probably see in a lot of like Korean MMOs nowadays.
Yeah, I had the same thing with it's called MU Online.
Okay, right.
Same grind fest Korean Diablo style thing.
So I played that for years and years and years. Oh, hi Kydra again. And yeah, I mean, I really liked it, and there was great community, and I think at a time it was only like 50 people on at a time, but man, I really loved it, and it looks like shit now, but god damn, that was a fun game. Played it with all my friends at school, and eventually I was actually a member of like the admin staff for the game. So wow. I was like this 14-year-old kid being like, hi, do you need help? Hi, I know what to do. I was just like hungry for power. I was one of those kids that joins a forum and immediately was like, you need any moderators? I really want to help out. You know? But anyway, yeah, I played that for a good few years, and then I stopped playing. And I think I might have tried Flyf, which was it was like a Korean MMO where you called Flying for Fun, I think. I think it's still around. And I tried that for a bit. And then I gave up on that. Yeah. But then my friend Justin, he was like, "Hey man, I'm playing, Warcraft." And I was like, "Yeah. What about it?" And he's like, "Oh, they got an MMO coming out." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And I kind of forgot about it, right?
Yeah.
And then he kind of like disappeared. He was just playing a ton, and him and his brother. And I was like, "Wow, okay." And then like when we were hanging out one day, he's like, "Do you want to try WoW?" And I was just like, "You mean the Warcraft MMO?" And he's like, yeah. And I was like, cool, man. Yeah, I'll try it on your account. So he downloaded the game on my computer, and I loaded up his account, and he let me make a mage gnome on, I think it was Ner'zhul, and I just called it Rubber Ninja, and I played on his account very, not very long. I just walked around the starting zone, the gnome / dwarf starting zone, and because they used to share the starting zones. Yep. And got lost, died a lot, and I was like, this is cool. Oh my god, this world is huge. Oh my god, this is so amazing. So I managed to. I didn't have a job at the time. I was out of high school, maybe maybe a little over half a year out of high school. So I managed to scrounge to get together some money, and I went out, and much to my girlfriend at the time's protest, bought a copy of World of Warcraft and started playing. And my friend Justin was over, and he was like, "Hey man," I was like, "Hey dude, what should I play? Like I don't know, like." And then he like showed me all the races, and I was like, "Oh, I want to play that one. Oh, that's so cool." And it was an undead, and he's like, "No, you can't be that. That's Horde." And I'm like, "What? You mean you can't what?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're 2 separate sides. You can't play. You won't be able to play with me if you play Horde." And I was like, "Oh." So I was kind of disappointed about that because the Warcraft 3 Horde storyline was more interesting to me. But I wanted to play with my friends, so I bit the bullet and I made a human mage. Well, first of all, I was like, what class should I play? And I was like, oh, can I play rogue? That sounds awesome. Do you go invisible and stuff? And he's like, yeah, but like we have a lot of rogues in our raid group already. Like he's already like recruiting me into his raid group. He's like, so you should really be a mage. We need ranged DPS. And I was like, oh, well, all right. So I started playing a mage. I didn't hate it. I actually kind of like mages. It's cool. And I'll show you that character eventually because, as I mentioned before this, my mage is one of the most bugged characters that you'll probably ever see in this game, and I'll show you that after this because it's quite an interesting story. But we'll skip ahead to that later. Remind me about that.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's very strange. So basically, I won't spoil it, but I found a bug in the game that has not been fixed since. I hope they don't fix it because it's the most unique and interesting thing that I love about this character. But anyway, moving forward. So I started playing as a mage. I got really, really addicted to the game, like really addicted. Like I was playing all the time, but I was really shitty at the game. Like I didn't understand questing at all. It was because questing was not really a part of the other MMO I played, so I was kind of a little bit, but you mostly just got an item and handed it to a dude. Like that was it. I wasn't like a fetch quest kind of thing. So I was like, shit, all right, let's give this a try. So I leveled, but I just did it by grinding mostly. I did do quests and dungeons and stuff, but mostly if I was just like, oh, just a few more bars, I'll just grind this out. So tons of grinding. And it just got to the point where I was just like watching TV and just hitting numbers and waiting for monsters to spawn. Like that's how dumb it was.
Yeah.
Kill this guy. Oh.
Yeah, we were leaving him alone, and then
he started it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was basically I was playing this mage, took ages and ages and ages, and it got to the point where like I was leveling so slow that I got to the points where I couldn't play because I didn't have any money to buy a time card from EB Games back in Australia. So I would wait till I had like $15 to like buy like a time card for this game, and then I'd go buy one. Almost sounds like a crack.
I needed my fix.
Needed my other fix.
Had to sell my home.
Oh, I need it. So I would.
Or didn't you have a job?
I didn't at the time. I didn't. And for a while, I like up to a point. This is around the time I had this character. I was unemployed. So because I was animating at the time, but I was doing it on Newgrounds and stuff, and I was I was doing it for free. Like you didn't make money off Newgrounds, so it's kind of just like you had successful animations up there, but like you weren't making money off it. So I was just like, no, I'm gonna keep doing this, and wow, so great. I'm gonna spend if I can spare $15, I'll buy some time. Yeah. So eventually, Burning Crusade was announced because I was playing. This was vanilla, by the way. So this was this is early 2005, all the way up to the launch of Burning Crusade. That's how long it took me to get to level 60. So that 3 days before Burning Crusade came out, I reached level 60. And I was like, yes, I'm going to be able to play Burning Crusade. I'm so happy. And I was like, well, I better do some of the raid content so I get some gear. And then I went and, I remember I went and looked for a group to do something with, but most had stopped because they're like, well, we're not going to do any raids right now because if we raid, we accidentally get shaman gear because shamans weren't in the alliance at the time because this character was alliance. Yeah. So nobody wanted to raid because if shaman gear dropped, it was a waste of a drop, and you couldn't equip it yet because shamans weren't a part of the alliance yet. So no one wanted to raid. But I managed to find a group that did Onyxia, and we got up to Onyxia, and we couldn't do it, but I got to see Onyxia in the last 3 days of vanilla, so that was really cool. And then Burning Crusade started, and oh my god, I was still slow at leveling. So it started up again, and it just felt endless. And I think I dropped that character, and I was like, you know what? No, I want to start a shaman. So I started again, and this time with a little bit more insight on how to play WoW. I started shaman and leveled a Draenei shaman called I think Vladimir or something up to level. I think I got to max level. I think I got to 70, and it took a really long time, but I did it. Yeah. And that was cool. I think I might have moved to Darkspear at this point. I'm not really sure. But yeah, that was interesting, and one thing I want to share. I had this great memory of when I was playing that mage. So I had this I'd never seen Horde before, right? Ever. Like I'd been playing this whole time, and I finally got to one of the zones where like Horde could potentially appear. And my first Horde I ever ran into, I was level 20. I found a level, skull level, question mark level, because they're too high for me. AFK. It was a Tauren warrior, I think it was a Tauren warrior. I'm just sitting there. Or maybe it was a druid. It was just sitting there. It was completely AFK, and I was like, "This is it. This is where I'm gonna get my mighty victory. I'm gonna kill this AFK Horde player." And I'm level 20. I literally am sitting there blasting him with every piece of like spell I have, and it got to the point where I was he had so much health that I was stopping and then drinking and then making more drinks, and I managed to get his health down to like a slither, and then he came out of AFK and he just laughed at me and tried to walk away, and then I hit him and he died, and I was like, yes. And he was so pissed. I ran after that. I was like, this guy's gonna hunt me to the ends of the earth. But I managed to gank this guy who was like really, really high level, and he obviously thought he could get away, but he was too low health at that time, but I managed to get him.
What zone was that in? Was that like Hillsborough or something?
Oh shit, I'm trying to remember. What's the zone that's next to the, when you go to Darnassus? Like I
Yeah.
can check right now. Actually, it is called
Dark Shore?
the Veiled Sea next to Fellwood. This is yes, Dark Shore. You're right, Dark Shore. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct. Dark Shore. Yeah, and that happened in Dark Shore near like one of the buildings that I think is now gone now. But I just remember that so fondly, and I was like, that was amazing. It was just so funny.
I think that's one of the reasons people loved the game back then too, is because everything was kind of still mysterious and
Oh, it was super mysterious, dude. Like, I didn't even know what a horde player was like this weird thing to me. I was like, oh man, I hope I run into a horde player. What are they like? Like, it's like another guy playing the game. It was really rad. And yeah, and then my girlfriend at the time started playing, and she got addicted. I don't talk to her anymore, so I don't know if she still plays. But yeah, it was crazy, man. And I'm trying to think what happened. Yeah, man. I mean, I then of course fucking Wrath came around.
yeah.
And I was like, well, shit, I love Death Knights, and now Death Knights are a class. I'm dumping this stupid Draenei and having myself a Death Knight. So
Start at
I ended up-
55.
yeah. So that was cool. So I was really excited to play a Death Knight. And I remember I got through the starting, so I just blazed through it. I was so excited because Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, oh, so good. And I remember that there were still a bunch of people who didn't have the game yet, because what had happened was, I guess some maybe countries weren't able to get it, or some people couldn't afford it, or they're still waiting for like a copy to arrive in the mail. So there were a lot of people flying around the early Outland Zone where we are now, over in Hellfire, and they were just basically flying around watching the Death Knights run around. So a lot of people didn't know what the Death Knight abilities were. So there was this like really high full raid gear. It was on a nether dragon flying above, watching us, just kind of like, wow, this is interesting. I've never seen a Death Knight before. Then all of a sudden, all the Death Knights look up that are around me. They're all I think Alliance at the time, and they just all Death Guard, pull this guy down and throw him around. He's like, oh, like panicking, and then they start killing him, and they almost gank this guy. Like I think it was like a 20 level 58 Death Knights almost kill a max level guy at the time. It was so funny. I still remember that. Oh man, what else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, and then of course, well, that was Wrath. So I stuck. The same character you're seeing right here is the character that happened on, except he's had a few. He's had a faction change, as you can tell. Because, of course, I finally went full circle and came back to Horde. Although I did raid Alliance in Wrath for a while, but I did go back to Horde, I think, near the end, or I can't remember. But
What Death Knight did you make originally? What race?
I think he was actually a male Draenei, or maybe male Draenei, and then human, I believe, because I hated the male Draenei after a while. I just thought they were kind of derpy looking.
Yeah.
And then I went to human, and then I went to Worgen. And then when finally the opportunity came, I went to Horde because I just wanted to play Horde.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And that's been this character ever since. And then I moved to Urson, which is where I am right now, and I formed the Game Grumps Guild, which is basically a guild for Game Grumps fans, which is pretty damn active. We've got a bit of raid progression going on. I'm not really big on raiding anymore myself. You big on raiding, or?
Not yeah, it's like I did my rating in vanilla, a little bit of TBC, and a lot of Wrath, and that's pretty much like it. I like LFR. A lot of people don't like LFR, but I actually enjoy it because I can see the content and be like, all right, I'm done. Because I don't.
That's fair.
I don't really care about getting gear as much as I did back then.
LFR is fun. Yeah, I mean, I've done it myself. I unfortunately had the displeasure of doing the anniversary molten core on it, and that was a nightmare because nobody knew any of the mechanics.
I did that with Jesse.
Oh god.
And we didn't expect it to be as long as actual molten core.
Yep, it was. It was awful. It was actually legit awful. Oh my god, so bad. People just didn't. It was like really like obviously mechanics. Like make sure they die at the same time or they're gonna resurrect. And no matter how many times you type in the chat, nobody understood it. Like, am I playing with Brazilian players? Does nobody speak English? What is going on?
Or like how the trash respawns and then people run back and aggro the trash, and you're just like, no, just don't. Please.
I'm so glad they left in the horrific experience.
I think it was like everybody had that nostalgia of just like, man, if only we could go back and do it. And they're like, all right, go back and do it. And everyone's like, oh yeah, this wasn't a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, nostalgia goggles, man.
Yep.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Oh man, you know what? What a great memory I left out of my first character story. When I first got to Westfall, I was running around with my friend Justin, and I remember we were kind of lost on a quest, or we were trying to find something, and we ran into this dude, another human. I can't remember what class, and I was like, "Hey man, like." He was like, oh hey guys, you questing? I'm like, yeah man, do you wanna join us? He's like, sure, what quest do you want? He was on the same one as us, so we teamed up, and we played with this guy for like all afternoon, and just like halfway through the afternoon, he goes, oh, so where are you guys from? And we're like, oh, we're from Australia. And he's like, oh, cool, yeah, me too. And I was like, oh, sweet dude, where are you from in Australia? And he's like, oh, I'm from Perth. And I'm like, whoa, okay, yeah, we're from Perth. He's like, oh, that's cool. Like, what school did you go to? And we said what school, and he's like, oh yeah, I live near there. All right. It's like, what's he's like, he went like the next level. He's like, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, my name is Russ O'Donovan. This is my friend Justin. Blah, blah. And he's like, Russ O'Donovan? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, I used to swim with your sister. Like, he used to do swimming classes with my sister. Like, it was unreal. And this is not even on an Australian server. This was on Razul, like an American server. So it was a very small world of Warcraft. So this guy, like, he was a chill dude, and like I'm not in contact with anymore, but he's a really cool guy. He like worked at, or had a friend that worked at trying to think, like EB Games, like GameStop there. GameStop. And like he got us a Wii early, and like he was just this cool dude, this cool contact we had. But yeah, just totally made a friend in World of Warcraft that lived literally like down the street from me. It was so weird.
And how did you find him? You just ran into him, like?
So just in Westfall, and we just started talking.
Oh yeah, Westfall.
And then randomly it turned out that he did swimming classes with my sister and remembered my last name. It was so weird. I couldn't believe it.
That is really weird. I mean, It's like, I think one of the big things people, like when they start playing the game, they get overwhelmed by everything and they don't know what to do. But I think it's like the biggest, what's the word? One of the most fun things about the game is that social aspect that you get and like the people you meet. Because I remember raiding. And, like, I remember having fun in Molten Core, but then I think back and I'm like, well, the reason I had fun in Molten Core is as we're doing all that, we're talking in I remember the priest chat, because I was a priest, so we had, like, 8 other priests in there talking, and then we'd, like, invite other people in there, like a little club, and then you got, like, you make friends, and it's the social aspect of it all.
Absolutely. I think that sells it entirely. Like, most of the time I play WoW now, it's not even just to get on or PvP. I just log on and talk to the guild and be like, how's everyone going? And, we just hang out and chat. I'm like, hey, do you guys want to run around and, like, gank Alliance? Or, but, like, we're generally pretty good about that. We actually have a rule that if we're in a big group, we only gank people who are level 100. We're pretty nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like respectable murder.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, it's just cool. It's the social aspect of this game has always been what really sells it for me. And I think that throughout Guild Grumps, although I don't think Aaron wanted to admit it, I think both of them left with a better understanding of like why people play MMOs. And I think they left going like, oh, it's 100% the social aspect. Oh, we have a visitor.
We do.
Bye-bye.
And there they go.
Yeah. And one thing I got a lot of flack for on Guild Grumps was the fact on episode 4, Holly pointed out that I hadn't told Aaron that he had buffs. Yeah. So he did a whole bunch of stuff without using Blessing of Might once.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't know about Bubble. I mean, the funny thing is, it's not on camera, but I did actually remember going to them and being like, okay, so this ability does that, that does that. Avenger's Shield is a great way to pull, but I'm pretty sure, and this was 7 months or 8 months ago, so I'm pretty sure the reaction I got was, whatever. But the minute Holly brings it up with them, they're just like, oh, yay, Holly, yay. And I'm like, Of course, throw me under the bus. But it was more so the dismissive nature of how they approached the game that made me dismissive with teaching them.
Yeah.
I was pretty eager to teach them at first, but it was pretty funny how that came back and bit me in the ass. Oh well, but I had a lot of fun leveling with those guys. It was really great.
Yeah, I was watching it, and I thought it was a pretty fun thing to watch.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird concept, but
it's weird. It's like somebody like they haven't played WoW, even though it's like been such a giant game for so long.
Yeah, I mean, Barry's got a major in game design, like he studied in New York for that, and like Aaron just, I mean, he plays PC games, but like MMOs are kind of been this thing that just kind of weird to him. He didn't understand it. Susie never really played PC games that much.
Yeah.
Other than, I mean, she does now, but back growing up, she didn't. And Dan, like, there was a long period of Dan's life where he had stopped playing video games entirely, and he fucking died. Yeah, and so I'm gonna. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely interesting to realize, oh, I'm literally in a place with, in an office with people who have never played an MMO. So it made for a really interesting dynamic, I think. And I think that's kind of why I wanted to leave them in the dark a lot, because what Blizzard have essentially done is allowed people to play the game without that 90 levels of context. I mean, they do introduce that opening tutorial, which I did skip, mainly because I thought the lack of context would create a high frustration environment, which is better for entertainment and essentially humor. And yeah, I think I part of me was like, when I heard they were doing the boosting, I was like, oh my god, that would be hilarious to make people who've never played before play this game, and how confusing it would be from level 90.
Yeah.
Like, as I remember starting it, and I remember how confused I was. Like, nothing made sense at all.
I remember when I started, I made, it was like the first day I ever played, I made a dwarf. And I was in that starting zone, and I was just running around. I was a dwarf hunter, and I was just like, yeah, woo, this is fun. I found a black pouch or whatever, a small black pouch. I was like, I wonder if it sells for a lot. And then I went to the horde, and I made my orc hunter, and then I just leveled him to, I think, like 14 by, like, just grinding. Like, I didn't realize you could do quests, and I ended up in the barrens and, like, running into just random things, and I was like, what am I doing? But it's like, at the same time, it's fun because you're just exploring this big new world that's like all open to you. Yeah, no,
I think that's it really, because it's all so connected. Like, I played a lot of MMOs where the world didn't really feel connected, and I think that was a huge problem. And everything here is very tight. It's very like, it's got a good feel. It's like how an old video game, like when you move to another level, you knew it was another level. Like, music changed, everything was different feel. Like, that's what all the zones feel like in this game. It's like a different experience. Like, when I walked out of Hellfire into Zengar, I was like, which is why we're here, I was like, oh my god, we're on an alien planet. Like, this was the first time playing the expansion. I was like, this is an alien planet. We're actually in space right now. This is so cool.
Yeah.
And I still love it. I think this is a great zone. I genuinely really feel that. I'm like, this is awesome. This is a great zone. And I was kind of,
whenever I would like level up characters, I would always go through this zone as well, because I loved just like the ambience, the music. It's kind of like low-key jazz music, and then you got the rain and like the blue, like kind of a depressing feel, and it's just like I just love the feel of that. Like, on top of Nagrand, which is probably one of my favorite zones, like this was my other favorite zone of Outland. Like, it's just really like very ambient just overall.
What was your favorite Wrath zone, out of curiosity?
I would say either, I always thought it was Sholazar, but I always like the color green, so I also like Grizzly Hills, so I just love like foresty.
Dude, Grizzly Hills was my definite favorite.
The bagpipe music too.
Yeah, it just felt like really like, oh, now we're on like a real medieval adventure. Like, this is it. Like, it was just so cool. I used to always fish there because I was fishing for the turtle mount. Never got it ever. Yeah. But then you know what my beautiful wife Holly did for me? She got me a sympathy turtle mount, and she got me the trading card turtle mount instead.
Oh wow.
Because the fishing one, I believe, is blue. And this is the trading card one, which is essentially the same mount except it's green. And it was the cutest sympathy that I ever received, because I tried for a really long time to get it, and I never got it.
I actually have the, here, you probably know this.
Whoa, cool. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I went to ZG, and I ran it, I think, even with vanilla. Like, I never saw it drop in vanilla. I never saw it drop, like, doing runs to try and get it. And then 2 weeks before it was gonna, like, they'd stop allowing
get rid of it.
Yeah. I went there and it dropped. And I was like, oh my god, but someone else was there with me and they rolled and won it. And I was like, dude, it's my run. Like, come on. And they were like, all right. And then I just took it and I was like, yeah, it's mine. And then after a while, they were like, I wish I would have kept them out. And I was like, too bad.
So throwing that YouTube dick around, or I'm kidding.
But I mean, I like it because it's like as a horde person, it's harder to get like the night elf type, like tiger saber mounts too. So like they had the raptor, but I never got the raptor. But
when I was Alliance, I was trying so hard to get Rivendell's Reigns of the you know that like the undead epic mount that Alliance could have.
Baron Rivendell one.
I wanted it so bad, and I never got it. I run that thing like 100 times. But everyone will jokingly say, no, you need to run that at least like 600 times. And I'm not doing that. But I always got lucky with events. Like I always got the seasonal mounts.
Yeah.
Like I have this, and I have the
is that the
I don't know where it
Brewfest
is. That's the Brewfest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got and then just literally the next run I got this. And then
I think I have the Ram too.
My first time doing the Halloween one.
Oh wow, you got the Headless Horseman one.
Yeah, Luck of the Irish or something, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's cool because it can actually fly, which is pretty damn neat.
That is really cool.
Yeah. And then the
oh yeah, here's the from Molten Core.
Oh yeah, I got that too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Before Panda finished Mists, I did the arena thing to get this guy. I love this mount. That is
a really cool mount.
It's just the undead epic mount, but done high poly. I was just like, this is so rad. So I
that was actually the first like epic mount I ever got. Was the original undead epic mount, the purple one.
Yeah.
But like back then, like getting it was so difficult too.
I'm gonna kill this guy over here. Wait, hold on.
There you go.
There we go.
Like I remember it took so long to get the epic mount. Cause like getting your normal mount was already hard because it was like a lot of gold to get it.
Dude, it was insane. I remember that shit. I remember blowing like, how much was it originally for an epic? I remember it was ridiculous.
It was like a few thousand, which like back then was insane. Like, a lot of money.
I remember I spent. Oh no, that was for the original, like the smaller mount, like the slower mount. When I got to level 40, that was the original one. I did. I got the money together and I bought it, and then literally like I think just shortly after that they brought the cost down. I was so mad. I was like, this is bullshit. Bullshit. So annoying. Couldn't believe that shit. And then of course like was in Wrath. I started the. Do I have it with me? Let's have a look. I do. So when Wrath was going on, I tried for the Shadowmourne, and I never got to get it, but I went and got it recently because I was like, I should just finish that because I still have the quest. So I went and I made Shadowmourne, which is the Wrath legendary, which I really like because it's a little Arthas-y.
Yeah.
And of course, with that you get this mount.
Oh yeah.
Which is a really cool one.
It is really cool.
What's the guy's name? Ashbringer guy's son. Ginger Man.
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I forget. He's riding that in the Death Knight starting zone, and I was just like, oh, that's such a cool mount. So man, I wish mine was red.
It's a really cool mount.
And of course, you get this guy.
Oh yeah,
enjoy that song.
Oh, do I even have my thing on? There we go. Oh yeah, the Sylvanas song.
Yeah, I love that.
I know, like, playing Warcraft originally, like, how did you feel, like, going into WoW? Because you already knew, like, the whole backstory of Warcraft. Because when I played, I didn't play the Warcraft RTS games, so I, like, had no idea, like, what anything meant.
My lore knowledge was a little rusty, so going in, I was definitely, like... I definitely needed a huge refresher. I was like, I was a little confused. Like when I saw they were undead on the Horde, I'm like, wait, so does that mean like Arthas is a part of the Horde? Like what? I don't get it. Like it didn't make sense to me. I was like, wait, so what? Like I needed a refresher. Like, oh no, Sylvanas is the Horde leader. So for a while of starting the game, I was like, so I guess Arthas is a part of the Horde. That's really weird. Because like undead were like they were a race. So I just assumed like Arthas is here? Like, but then when I finally like talked to someone about it, like, oh no, yeah, Sylvanas runs that shit. But yeah, as a whole, I just really like, I loved it. It was so fucking cool. I'm really hoping that eventually, like, you know, by the time we're maybe in the next 10 years, we'll get another Warcraft game, like another.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
really
was even hoping it would be this year, because they're like, we got a big announcement. It was Outwatch or Overwatch, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
which I mean, I like it, but I was like hoping Warcraft 4. I was like, just wait, they're gonna like set up a whole new like lore for like and fill in some old lore gaps. Like I thought it was gonna be Warcraft 4 this year, but
you know what I would love to see in a Warcraft 4? I would love it to be a condensed retelling of World of Warcraft. But the units you build, like as RTS units, they've got the classes, so you can like spawn a bunch of priests and stuff, and, like, you know, like create a bunch of priests,
oh, yeah.
like a bunch of priests, create some warriors. So then basically what you do as an RTS is like control like a 40-man raid, right? So you'd have 2 raids fighting each other, and then you'd be microing the priests in the back, heal the tank, and then you could essentially do like top-down WoW, like you could do that, and then have these like crazy game dynamics for that, and I think that'd be really rad. I don't know if that's feasible from a game design standpoint, but I think that'd be cool. Maybe.
Yeah, it does sound like a cool concept.
Yeah, but I mean, and also I think if they went through like the entire lore of Warcraft, and like World of Warcraft, and then tried to condense it into that, and then an expansion came out, and that was like the further beyond WoW, or you know, like that goes beyond where like maybe the WoW expansion stopped, because I don't know. I would love a new. See, this is the thing I want. I would love an MMO with real-time combat, like Monster Hunter level shit. But like the problem with that is it wouldn't sell, because internationally, internet connections are so varying, and distance becomes a problem, and you just can't simply do that. There are MMOs that try to imitate it with strictly AoE damage, where you can get out of the way of the AoE, but it's the day that I can play WoW and it can feel like Monster Hunter, that would be rad. Oh, and VR. I want Oculus Rift.
Yeah, virtual reality.
Like Sword Art Online, that shit, but only the first 14 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I actually hear Blizzard's gonna be at E3.
Yeah. I heard that too.
Crazy. Like they normally just save their announcements to
BlizzCon.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe it is. Maybe they're gonna put Overwatch on a console.
I don't know. It's possible. 'Cause I mean,
it's pretty weird if they did.
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, I like to see what Blizzard does, 'cause they're Blizzard.
Yeah.
But
they're cool guys, and they do cool stuff. So
I always thought with like a Warcraft 4, I'd want them to go back over like plot lines that nobody really knows about aside from the book. So like maybe like when the Exodar, like the Draenei fled on the Exodar with like Velen. Like that'd be a cool thing to like play out in an RTS game. Like, you know, like
like you're talking like the like a prequel kind of thing with like
a prequel.
Like them fleeing Argus, like when the Burning Legion comes. Oh, that'd be rad. Oh, that's a really good idea.
I know, right? And you could just kind of have like all those like things that are in the book that nobody's ever experienced in like the RTS or the MMO, like bring those to life. I thought that'd be cool.
So I'm just taking care of this Hydra.
All right. And then you could have an expansion to it, and that could kind of be new lore, and that way you can tie that into World of Warcraft in addition.
Oh yeah, I mean, once you got the engine down, like you've got a game basically. I mean, that's not totally true, but you know, like, yeah. I mean, I always thought that they'd use the StarCraft 2 engine to make like Warcraft 4, and maybe they are. I think know.
Someone was doing that. Some like modded. Someone was modding it.
Yeah, I posted that on Twitter a long time ago. I remember that. That was amazing. Is that still happening? Or did it get shut down? Or
I don't know. It's probably a good thing to look at. Because, I remember that was announced or someone was working on it.
I remember that there was, like, one occasion where some, like, mod, like, for StarCraft like that came out, and then Blizzard was like, don't do that, and then they, like, hired them, I think, or someone else hired them. I remember something like that going down. I wish I remember the specifics of that story, but that's funny.
Yeah. Because I'd never played Warcraft 3, and then about a year ago, I was like, you know what, let's play it. So I let's played it, and obviously you have the people that are just like, you missed the item buried in the trees in the top right.
God.
And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I completed the level, so who cares? They're just like, you didn't 100% complete it. I'm like,
dude, that shit is so stupid. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, we're not having it. Like, that's the guy at when you go to a party and like you're playing beer pong, and then all of a sudden he's like, dog, you were 6.7 centimeters over the line. That's not real beer pong. It's like, I think you're missing the point here.
yeah.
And it's like I was getting a lot of comments about Game Grumps, like, Game Grumps is a failure. I'm like, and then I read it, and they're like, literally their main point of Game Grumps being a failure was that people didn't stick around and nobody reached 100 except me. And I'm like, that wasn't the point of it. Like, like you don't get it. So I don't know. It's that people are. That's why I got to 100 on my spare time for the end of that show. I was just like, I need a superficial ending for the people who are going to care about that stuff.
Yeah.
And I gave it to them, but people were still upset. But whatever.
It's the internet.
It's the internet. You're never going to make anyone happy, and I've learned that. No matter what medium you do, be it animation, film, or gaming stuff, you're always never going to be able to please everyone.
Yep.
Yeah. That's just fucking life, bro.
Well, this might be a good time for you to go on your guy to show us the amazing glitch thing.
You know what? Let's do it. Cut forward. I'll bring it here right now.
All right, let's cut forward.
Just keep filming, because I want to get your initial reaction to this. It's going to be a bit of a what. Also, he's a mage, so he'll get here really quick.
All right. Nice.
Be right back.
I remember with mages, they used to just make food and water. And then
we were vending machines.
Yeah, and a portal maker. So you'd be like, I need a portal to this place, pay it. And they're like, oh yeah, just pay a mage like a gold or something. You know? And then Blizzard was like, hey, we should probably add more depth to their class.
Yeah, pretty much. It was the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
Okay, the character's name is Rubber Frost.
All right.
He's in his garrison, so just give me 1 sec.
All right.
Oh, please don't say they fixed it. Oh, come on. Yes, it's still there. All right, awesome. This is the dumbest thing that I've ever found in World of Warcraft.
All right.
Okay, I just need to find the Shutruff. Boom. There we go.
Invite me to a group while you're at it.
Shall do. Cool. All right, on my way.
All right.
And this is a very minor thing, but it's just so weird and interesting that like I want to know if anyone else out there has this. I have never ever heard of anyone ever going like, oh, like, yeah, I have that. Like, oh, that's such a funny bug. Like, this is weird.
Yeah, I'm really curious now. So I don't think I've ever seen anything.
It can't be replicated because it came from an event for the Cataclysm launch. So it's weird. And I'll explain how it further bugged when I discovered this bug.
Do you think if you put in a ticket, they could fix it?
I don't want them to.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them to either.
Blizzard, if you see this, please don't. Please don't. This bug doesn't affect anyone. It's literally just a cute little cosmetic thing that does nothing to my character except make it look funny. Be a bro, Blizz. I actually told some employees about it when I was at BlizzCon. I told oh man, I'm trying to remember his name. I think he's the head of pet battling.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking.
Yeah.
Like Mumpert.
Yeah,
something like that.
I apologize, dude. It's been a while since we last spoke. But yeah, like I told him about it. And he's like, really? That's a really weird bug. And I was like, yep. All right, so here you go.
All right, let's see this. I'm gonna zoom in.
You see what's on my body?
Oh. Whoa. So you're like a prophet.
Yep. So what happened was, let me explain this. When this character was originally a gnome, I got halfway through the Cataclysm starting quest and then gave up and never finished it. And then I was like, oh, that's so funny. And then the Cataclysm event finished and I still had it. And I was like, oh, that's so silly. It'll eventually disappear.
Yeah.
And then I faction changed him. I was like, he'll probably lose it. And then what happened was I lost the quest. And not only did I keep the board, I got another one. So if you look at the small one on my back, that's the one from when I was a gnome. and the small one in the front. And then the other two are from being like the one that actually do go around my shoulder. They're the ones from being, well, an undead. So if I kept changing my race, I would consistently get boards attached to my body.
Oh my god!
Isn't this the weirdest thing ever?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's like, I feel like you're probably the only person
in the world that has I've never heard of anyone say they have this. But I don't have the quest. Like, you can look in my quest log. There's no event quest for Cataclysm. I don't have anything. It's just stuck, and there's not even a buff for it. And the crazy thing is, here, watch this.
Right.
I'm really hoping this is still the case. Because if it isn't, then it's gonna make great for your video.
All right.
Watch this. I'm gonna need you to res me, by the way.
And you're dead. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Pop me a res. So my body still has the boards on it.
Yeah.
Oh, and hilariously enough, when I run around as a ghost, my ghost has the boards on their body. And no matter what I do, I keep the boards.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Now I wish you just had like 8 boards on you.
I know, I kind of want to keep going, to be honest. I could probably do it. It'd just be this like pile of boards. I just have to go like change. I would have to change to goblin, then change back to what's a new mage, orc, and then just go around and then come back to undead.
Yeah.
I'd have a ton of boards on my body. Blizzard, please don't fix it.
Just the fact that like you could change races and have it stay as well is like.
Yeah, isn't it funny?
That's so weird.
Yeah, I know, right? I love it though. I haven't leveled this character for a long time. Obviously he's level 90.
Yeah.
But
it'd be weird too if like only you could see it, nobody else could see it, but the fact that everyone else can see it.
Yeah, it actually makes me want to level this guy and put him through put him through the motions, and actually, because I have to get, if I can get full heirloom for this guy, then I could blast through leveling really quick.
Yeah.
Which it's expensive and I don't have a lot of gold, but I'd love to do that. Maybe I'll stream it.
There's some transmog people that would pay like good money to have
have this dumb board, like
yeah,
end of the world board.
Yeah.
It's funny, man. But yeah, if you view my character from any like the armory or for whatever, you don't see the boards. You just see my Tabard of the Protector, which was from the launch of the Burning Crusade, which was the only time you could get the original Argent Dawn.
Yeah.
Tabard. Did you get this one, or?
I have
their character.
Yeah, I think I have it in my bank.
Yeah.
So I've faction changed this guy. He used to be the undead priest I made like way back in vanilla. Like I rated MC on this guy, and then I faction changed to a gnome. And then I faction changed to, or no, was it a gnome? Or it was, what did I change to? I don't even remember what I changed to. I changed to something else, and then I changed to a goblin.
So weird.
And yeah, but yeah, I've never seen anything like that. That's like like a different type of glitch, like if like gloves glitched or just anything, like nothing. Mm-hmm. That's what's so weird about it.
And there's like literally a plant going through my entire body. I look like I look like fucking Nyan Cat. It's so stupid. Oh, actually, that'd be a great one. Like turn into a Worgen mage and then call myself Nyan Cat because I'm the big Pop Tart.
That would be a good one.
I actually was gonna change my name to become a troll mage and call myself Box Troll.
Yeah.
But I decided against it. It's so stupid. But yeah, there you go. That's my mage.
Wow. Well, I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me and sharing in all your stories and showing me the crazy end of the world boards.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thanks for having me on your little comfortable fishing show. I'm glad I could hang out.
Yeah, that's what I hope for. It's like having a nice, like, relaxing environment to just share nostalgia and old WoW stories and cool things.
Oh, well, thanks for having me, and to all that are watching, thanks for watching.
Yeah. All right. And
bye.
See you.